could be said that Dragon Spirits is nothing more than a copy of Xevious set in a fantasy world, and in a way you'd be right. You control Amul, a human soldier who has transformed himself into a huge fire-breathing dragon. Yeah, it's nuts. Flying over volcanoes, jungles and glaciers to save Alicia, the princess of Miklut. I think that's how you pronounce the name of the kingdom. Throughout the game you can collect various power-ups such as an extra head. Seriously, your dragon can spawn an extra head to help increase his firepower. You need this head too because Dragon Spirit is one of the hardest shooters I've ever played. As always, the European home computer ports suffer in the control department. Some versions of Dragon Spirits kill both ground and airborne enemies with the same weapon, while others try to follow the arcade version by having a bomb button. Unfortunately, this bomb button is on the keyboard, rendering it pointless, because as soon as you go to hit it, you end up being killed. This Amiga version for some reason starts you off fully powered up. I guess it's been hacked. A very odd design point is the dragon at the bottom of the screen. It covers up some of the playing field. Now who on earth thought that was a good idea? Overall though, this version isn't all that bad, and not a patch on the toughness of the arcade version, which is a good thing, because the arcade version's way too tough. Namco, the original arcade developers, handled the PC Engine port, and what a good job they've done. Sure, the graphics have taken a hit, but the audio is really good, as is the way the game plays. They've even toned down the difficulty levels somewhat, although it's still pretty challenging. A system well known for near arcade perfect ports should be able to handle Dragon Spirit with ease, and it does. Dimpa handled the X68000 port, and what they've basically given us is an arcade perfect port complete with that rock solid level setting. Still, at least in this version you can choose how many lives you have as well as screen resolution and display modes. Easily the best non-emulated home port out there. Just like all the other European home computer ports, Consult Software Limited handled this conversion. And even though the play area seems a little squashed, this C64 port is actually quite playable. Just a shame there's no in-game music. Sorry to all you Spectrum fans out there, but this port is pretty bad. The controls don't feel right, it's way too easy to die due to poor collision detection, and the in-game sound is just awful. It's also one of those versions where you have to press the spacebar to use your bomb weapon. The Amstrad CPC version is kind of like the Spectrum version, but now with full color graphics and slightly jerky scrolling. Unfortunately, it kept crashing, as you can see. Coming in second to the X68000 port due to its lack of options, this PlayStation port can be found on Namco Museum Volume 5. It's a pretty faithful port, only let down by loading times and the PlayStation controller. At least I think so. I've never liked the PlayStation controller. The Famicom version is the most unique port of Dragon Spirits. Namco added a story to the game complete with cutscenes telling the story of our adventurer. There are also many original powered-up options as well as redesigned stages. The way the game starts is also quite interesting. We start on what seems to be an all-new stage only to die pretty quickly. Then we're taken to a cutscene that shows us it was all a dream. The game's second title screen appears with the subtitle Gold Dragon. You'll also notice that the dragon is gold. And this is where the real game starts.